the act.
Ross! I didn't know there was anyone in the house. What are you doing here? You've only been gone a week.
Came late last night. Nobody here. Where is Dad?
Business trip, I think Max said. Back today, I think.
So, you thought you'd nick his roses?
Of course.
I'm going down to Grand's when I had some coffee. Come in and have some. Tell me the news.
News? What happens here, for God's sake?
I'm not going in today.
You said so. Before you turned over and went back to sleep. I don't know why I bother bringing you tea. You hardly ever drink it.
I thought I heard the phone ring.
You did. They were ringing you from work. I told them you'd got the flu.
I didn't say I got flu.
I had to tell them something.
I might have flu at that.
Oh, yes?
Got a bit of a temperature, I reckon.
Yes, you look a bit pale.
Do I?
If you'd a temperature, you'd be flushed.
Well, what's opposite a temperature?
Death. Now, look. I know your dedication to reliability and punctuality. You don't have to tell me tales.
I'm not telling you tales. Ross Brassington called you late last night.
Ross?
Ah, he seemed a bit surprised you weren't at home at that hour. I told him you were out with one of your fancy men. I told him it was no good waiting, that sometimes you stayed out all night.
Oh, thanks.
I had to tell him something.
You'd better get back to bed. You don't look as if you've got a temperature, but you sound as if you have. I've a break in a couple of hours. I'll pop back. There's an epidemic going around.
What is it?
It's a virus. It's called perversity. An excess diet of best bitter can trigger it off. But, of course, you wouldn't have been down the Black Line last night, would you?
Why wouldn't I?
Well, Jessie Armstrong's off on her annual busman's holiday, isn't she?
What's that got to do with it?
I've heard about you and Henry Brassington sitting there chatting her up.
Gossiping about him already, are they? Just because he is who he is. Who told you?
You did.
Oh, is it decent?
No, but it's covered up.
I brought yesterday's paper back. Has today's come yet?
Not yet.
I'll bring it round when I've read it.
Yeah, well, don't take all day about it. I like to read it in daylight. I can't see it proper in the dark.
You should get a decent-sized bulb in.
Nah, waste not, want not. Fancy you having a dressing gown.
Why shouldn't I have a bloody dressing gown?
Search me.
And why can't she buy her own damn paper? She's worth more than Henry if truth were known, I dare say.
Waste not, want not. What is it you're always saying? Our generation squandered what your generation saved. Yeah, you'd better read it fast when it comes. It could serve the whole street if they'd all read it fast.
I thought he was going straight home from Dawson. Young Angela said he was.
Well, maybe he's heard of a strike.
He's practically lived here since Mother's funeral. Yesterday's trip to Dawson's was his first night away.
Oh, he can't be much fun in that house on his own.
You two are not lusting after young Angela, are you?
Angela?
Well, there must be some bloody reason why every time I come back to my office it's occupied.
There was a call from Baxter. I had it put through here for privacy.
What's going on out there?
Unofficial strike.
Oh, I guess they weren't there to welcome me home.
The men throughout the settlement have agreed with the union when they had the meeting yesterday.
Well, they're told we can't pay without a productivity agreement that hasn't even been agreed by the department yet.
They think we're going to use that as an excuse not to pay.
I see. So they didn't so much throw it out as just assume it wasn't going to happen. Is that the gist of it?
So far as it's possible to understand anything that comes out of that kind of meeting.
And the department haven't replied yet?
We got another letter off yesterday, but haven't replied to the first one.
Telephone?
We tried that, too. They'll inform us in the usual way when they've been able to consider it.
Jim Turner. Chaired that meeting, didn't he? Him can usually carry a meeting when he's got a case as stout as that.
Ah, you know what these meetings are like, Henry? There's the usual bad attendance, I'm told. The local lads were outnumbered by men for the new intake, it seems.
Oh, you mean those drivers we drew on to replace those that went to join the new transport depot at Birmingham?
That was loyalty for you?
Loyalty to their families. They were offered better money at Birmingham than we could afford. That and the chance of a house on that new estate there instead of a damp stone cottage. Have you been in touch with Jim today?
Well, I rang his home. Gone down with flu, his daughter said.
Always times it just right, does Jim?
Oh, well, I'd better go. I said I'd meet Harris at number 2 kiln.
Yes, and Guy, yes.
Sarah, and a letter.
Oh, I promised I'd pop down and see him. I might go down this week, unless, of course, he runs away again and comes back home.
You damn well better not.
You made that plain to him, did you?
I made it very plain to him.
To find somewhere else, I want to. Does Sarah know you said that to her?
Sarah counters everything I'm saying.
So you don't tell her anymore?
Dad, I sort these problems out at home. I come here to work.
Dad? Max? Is Neil around?
He's out in the works somewhere. He has a lot on his plate. Leave it till you get home, will you, Doc?
Ah, pay no attention. I've put him out of sorts. Takes very little these days. Can I give Neil a message?
Well, I'm going into town to have my hair done, and I promised Sarah I'd get her a few things. So could you ask him not to bother coming home to lunch?
Going to have your hair done. Oh, I hear you called on our Ross last week. What do you think of his fancy woman?
Dad, don't use that silly expression. She's very nice. I liked her. They seem to live such a full life, don't they?
Made you fancy the prospect of living in sin, did it?
Oh, I'd not have bothered if I'd known it was you.
Called round for a book, how Ruth promised young Amy. She's off school.
Oh, she left it on the table there. It's been there for days. What do you really come for?
Something wrong with you?
What makes you ask? Because I'm not dressed? What's there to dress for? There's a strike on, isn't there? Thanks to you.
Democratic decision at an open meeting, nothing to do with me.
Oh. Well, you and Reg Brooks made damn sure you got the best part of the new intake there, didn't you?
They're more union-educated than your locals, the new lads. That's why they were there. I said what I usually say at such meetings, damn all. Anything I have to say I keep for party meetings in the district council. I keep off union matters so as not to embarrass you.
And you work through Reg Brooks instead. The militant left must be scraping bloody barrel round here if he's the best they can muster. You keep strange company, don't you, lad?
I'd sooner work with you, but we don't see eye to eye, it seems.
If you mean that I'll not see people like you take the Labour Party back into the wilderness where we brought it from, you're damn right we don't see eye to eye.
When there's a socialist party that's socialist, I'll join it. Until then, I have to work where I can. I'll have to get off. I'm on picket.
It'll achieve now, you know. I'm surprised even you went along with it. It'll work against you if it goes on for long. Then we'll have attendance at meetings and they'll be back to work and nothing to show for it.
It wasn't my decision.
You'll get tired with their brush if you tie in with Reg Brooks's lot. A lot of the credit you work on's your own, I grant you. You're a good councillor, you work at it. But some of the credit that got you there's mine. Some of the votes you get given are because you're seen as my successor. Now, you do well to remember that and not speak against me in the union or elsewhere. You could drive me to speak against you.
I'll be gone about an hour or so. I said I'd go down and see your grandmother. A £40 million works and nothing coming out of it.
Waste. Stupidity.
None of it on our side, of course.
Well, is there, in this instance?
Well, the incomers have probably swung that meeting last night. Have we done anything apart from signing them on from work?
Like what?
Communicated the word Ross would have used.
Ross would ask them how they think we should run the damn place. Anyway, we do consult. The machinery's there.
Lip service.
It wouldn't be if they used it properly. Some of them just naturally assume a permanent state of conflict. It's all part of the class war, Father.
Have you ever tried to put yourself in their place?
You think that's what they want or need? I don't, any more than young Guy does. He needs a father to kick against, a fixed point in a shifting world, what you were to me. Or don't you recognize yourself?
I know what it was, or pretended to be, but was I right? Who the hell's that?
You'll be in the drivers' union. They're not out. 24 hours of this and they'll be laid off.
Wasn't it him that cocked up reversing that lorry? Him that I told you to get moved?
I moved him to the work sweeper.
Well, I know what work sweeper I'd put him on. To the end of a brush. I wouldn't be too happy about that.
Now, I'm going to take your temperature. And I've to be back in school in less than 5 minutes. So for God's sake, don't be awkward.
Now...
Come in. And keep still. You've broken one this year.
They've put this through my door. It's got your name on it and my number.
Oh.
Happen to think you've come lodging with me to get away from yon. What's up with him?
Flu, he says.
Oh, it'll be this red flu they're all talking about. Straight from Moscow. It should feel at home in him. One of the symptoms, is it? That noise he's making?
I had to fly back from school in my break to see to him. Oh, he's telling you he didn't ask me to, which is true, I suppose.
Our Ross is back again.
Dad said.
He's left that woman he was living with in London.
Oh, yes.
I can remember him coming to tell me when his rabbit died. Of course, we was living at the bungalow then. They buried it under a tree and sang, "Abide with me." Here he's made that noise again. Was that the car? He's coming to fetch me.
Ross?
Look, I'd better look and see. All right, it's him. So I'll see you later.
Oh, shut up. Sorry. Forgotten about you. You're allowed to take it out yourself, you know. It won't burn you. No, it certainly won't burn you. It's normal. Look, Dad, if you want to take a day off work, for God's sake, take one. Everybody else does. You don't have to make excuses to me.
I don't need excuses. There's a strike on when not at work. They voted against union advice at meeting last night. There's nothing I can do but wait until they hang themselves and say, I told you so.
So you're going to keep a low profile and sweat it out, are you?
Sweat what out?
The flu, of course.
I've the time and the transport to go anywhere I like. Where do I go? I come here and nick your roses.
Yeah, you're very welcome.
You haven't offered me a drink yet.
Well, what do you drink this time of the day?
Same as any other time of day.
Mother's coming up. I sent a taxi for her. Well, you hear her teeth grit when she rides with me. I'm going to try and persuade her to stay here.
Why?
They'll nag at me to leave if I stop on my own. They say the place is too damn big for me. Besides, she shouldn't be on her own herself, not at her age. She's always liked this house, though she'll never admit it. I thought it might tempt her if I put it to her when she was here, instead of down there with her bits and bobs.
Aren't you going to have one?
I try to avoid it in the middle of the day.
Point taken.
It solves nothing, does it?
Oh, Lord, you're not one of those, are you?
No, I'm not. I don't check on Annie, but by God, my mother will. It's a dusty world.
You had as good a marriage as anyone I've known. Why wasn't it enough?
Who says it wasn't?
If Jean hadn't died, you'd have stayed on at the works.
I'm going to break the rules and have a drink with you.
Solves nothing, you know.
I knew you'd chuck that back at me.
Ross was here when I came, by the way. He's gone down to your mother's.
Ross, what's he doing here?
You didn't expect it?
No, I didn't. Not this soon, I didn't.
It's no good being impatient. I never come back to a messy house. Did you cancel that taxi?
Last night when I said I'd pick you up.
He's too free with his taxis. He could have called for me himself. He'll be seeing his Annie's dusted properly. He knows I think he pays her too much. You know why I'm being asked up there today, don't you? He wants me to go up there for good.
Did he ask you?
No, but he will today while I'm up there, tempted. He knows I like that house. He's asking me up so I'll sniff the carrot. I shall not, though.
Why didn't you tell him?
I can't say no till I'm asked, can I? He only wants me there because he knows you'll all say the place is too big for him, which, of course, it is.
I might be coming back for good.
Well, there you are. There's providence at work.
I haven't told anybody but you, though, not till I'm sure.
Well, I shan't say anything to anybody. I dropped your other bit of news next door.
What news?
About you not living in London over the brush no more. I knew you'd want me to. She'll not come on the plate, though, you know. She's a mind of her own, Ruth Turner. Is that why you packed the other one in?
It was breaking up before all this.
Thank you. Ah, well, then there you are. I mean, there'll be no need for divorce, will there? I suppose there's that to be said for these trial marriages.
You don't approve of our generation, do you, Gran?
I've seen better.
The good old days?
Yeah, more bad than good. But then there always is. A rose bush grows more thorns than roses. But it's the roses you remember, not the thorns. Does your dad know you're coming back?
Well, I didn't know myself until I went back to London after the funeral. You won't...
No, I won't tell him that you might come back for good. No more than I did when you sat in this very chair and told me you'd failed your exams. I'll tell you something now, though. He sat there a week before and told me how he knew you'd failed. He's not daft, your dad, you know.
I've got hold of somebody. They're bringing him to the phone. You better listen on that one.
Braithwaite's coming. Jim Turner's deputy.
Ah, then maybe Braithwaite should listen. Might give him some slight conception of what we're up against.
Where's Henry?
He'd arranged to see grandmother. He wasn't against me ringing him, just thought it'd be a damn waste of time, that's all. But if we can tell the men that the department's agreed the settlement that we're going to pay, then they won't have a damn leg to stand on, will they? Hello? Yes? Yes? I see. My name's Brassington. Ledston Cement Company. Ledston 2481. Well, if it's not too much trouble, we're still waiting a reply to our letter of the 20th. And pending some sort of action, we have a strike. Yes. Yes, I'd appreciate that. Gone to lunch. The whole bloody country's gone to lunch.
Oh, I want to live, Brassington. What do you think I should do? Take a lover?
No, that's bloody nonsense talk.
Oh, don't you measure your marriage by mine.
You haven't, have you?
Would you be shocked if I had?
I don't want to know.
Where are you?
Oh, we're in here, Mother.
Party, is it?
Well, now you're here, it is.
Well, Ross has brought me. But he's cancelled that taxi, so don't go paying.
Where is he?
He's coming. What have I come for, any road?
You've come to see me.
I've seen you. Can I go now?
She means that she's not joking. I thought we got rid of you.
A bad penny.
Been busy, I see.
Time to go home.
Not yet, it isn't.
No, why not?
You know damn well why
What
not.
you're talking about. We'll be seeing you around then.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Bye-bye, Gran. Don't let them talk you into anything.
She shouldn't drive like that.
Who let her get like that?
She's all right, isn't she?
I better make sure.
There's folks down where I live as can't make ends meet. Live hand to mouth. Spend the brass they should pay the bills with on drowning their sorrows. Can you make sense of it?
I'm off to meet my lover.
That's not funny.
Oh, Brassington, chance, as they say, would be a fine thing.
You would mess it up. You're too innocent for the ways of this world. Come back in.
All right, I know. You think I'm not fit to drive.
You damn well know you're not.
Look, if I run into anything between here and home, it'll be a farm tractor. Nobody will suffer but me and the damned insurance company, so who could care?
Guy, Max, I would care.
Why do I never call you father like most daughters-in-law? It's odd, isn't it?
I'll get him.
Sorry about that. It's automatic. My foot slipped.
Am I near Ledson Village?
I can take you just this side of it.
Oh, that'd be great.
How did you get on this road?
Got left to the junction on the top road there. Driver told me to follow the path down the hill. Shortcut, he said.
Shortcut to nowhere. Sorry I can't take you all the way, but I'd sooner not drive through the village.
Aye, well, I can see you'd not want to do that.
Where are you going in Ledston?
Railway Terrace. I'm lodging there. I'm here for a job as a driver at the cement works.
Oh, my husband works there.
What's he do?
He's commercial director.
No like?
No like.
The kids do.
Kids are welcome.
I worry about their ears.
Oh, so do I.
Have kids?
One.
I've one. What's yours?
Boy.
Go. Lovely country.
Doesn't bore you?
You're joking. You have a good life around here, I think.
That's what you think, is it?
You think they have a plant in the works?
A plant?
You hear about these things. Rastrix had one. Some fringe political group had put him in. What about Jim Turner's son, young Les? He's one of the wild men of politics around here, isn't he?
Well, on the council, maybe. He keeps out of union matters in the works as much as he can. For the sake of peace at home, I think.
Well, what about the other chaps, then? Brooks?
No, he's not liked. Puts himself up for the works committee, but he's never been voted on.
You don't believe in Reds under the bed, do you, Neil?
Oh, I know they exist. Not here, though, I think. It's changing, of course, the traditional workforce. The lads whose fathers worked here. Mobility of labour. The world's coming in.
I'd get it to the garage when you can, but it'll hold for a day or two.
Thanks. I expect I'll drive it down in the morning when I'm able.
Turn left at the end of the drive and right at the crossroads, you said?
Yes, that's right. But you'll have a cup of tea first, surely.
Aye. Well, I'll not say no. Been travelling since 6 this morning. Oh, that's my favourite bridal you have there. I used to teach art, you know, up to 4 or 5 years ago. School in Glasgow. I left it to go in the yards, the shipyards, you know. Felt I was losing touch with reality.
I thought art was the true reality.
That's a middle-class intellectual idea.
You don't like middle-class intellectuals?
Some of my best friends are middle-class intellectuals. No, I just wanted to get back home, you know.
Home?
Where I came from. where I felt easy.
Oh, that's home, is it? Where you felt easy. The shipyard. Not where your wife and family are.
I'm divorced. And there's no job in the yards for me now.
No home.
No. No home.
Well, don't look at this, for God's sake.
Well, it's very nice. Don't you like it?
I did once.
I'm like that with paintings. I hang one, then I get bored with it. I'm still looking for the ideal.
Ideal?
The one I won't get bored with. The one I want to hang there till the day I die.
We're all looking for that one, aren't we?
I'd have thought you'd had something among all this. Well, there's the prodigal for a start.
Oh, a print. I like originals. The chance, as they say, would be a fine thing.
I'll paint you one. For the lift.
Hang here amongst all these prints. I'd hang it at the cottage if you did.
Cottage?
Yes, we've got a cottage down there through the woods. People take it from time to time. It's an awful mess. They don't stay long. I'm rather glad, really. Guy and I like to go down there in the summer with a book.
Your husband?
No, Guy's my son. I think he'd like to live there all the time, really.
Time is off.
Must you? It's nice talking.
Oh, I ought to get to my digs.
Yes, of course. I told you the way.
Aye, you did. You don't know a chap called Reg Brooks?
Brooks? Brooks, it sounds familiar.
Oh, it doesn't matter anyway. I'll note the digs. Thanks again. I know the way out.
You won't forget.
Oh, I won't forget the painting. Promise.
You'd think he'd bloody well know where the sheets are and house he lived in for 30-odd years. I'd have had Annie make his bed up if I'd known he was coming.
What time does she come? Morning.
Oh, 8:30 to get me mid-breakfast, gone by 12. So she says.
Gets a day's wage for it, does she?
Well, mind your own business. If you start spreading around what she gets, I'll lose her. She's a proud woman. You fancy the job yourself, do you?
What, mollycoddle you all over again after all these years? I'm more used to you than I'm to anybody else at my time of life.
So you think, is it?
I'm what I used to call you when you misbehaved. Neither use nor ornament.
Well, you think like that because all your life your mind's been set on work. There are other uses. Oh, it's you Max takes after, not me. He looks at the world and sees nothing but work.
No, that's all there was for me when I was a lass. And lucky to have it, I thought. What use did you have in mind for me, then?
Keep me company.
Lonely, is it? It passes. Oh. Most of it does any road.
Can't see it passing, Mother.
It passes. I know. I've been here for you. I still know things you don't know.
How can I turn from work when all that's to come is an empty house?
Why should you turn from work?
Oh, make room for others.
Max, you mean?
Well, if he's thought capable, thank God it isn't up to me.
You'd go against him?
I don't know. It's a terrible thing to say about your own flesh and blood, but it's dawning on me that I don't know him at all.
I like Max. I've always liked Max. Though he's changed these last few years. When he was a little lad, he used to mend things for me when they went wrong. "Where's the screwdriver, Gran?" he'd say. Then he'd mend it for me.
I lost touch with Max years ago. He is what I was, that I turned my back on.
You were wrong then.
I was losing Ross. They was as different as chocolate and cheese as lads can be. You can lose one in trying to keep one. Maybe I lost them both. I don't know.
Grieve over it, do you?
Sometimes it's not spilt milk, is it? It's most of your life.
Well, you're too old to run to your mother. There's been times when I'd have run to mine if she'd still been alive. We don't live long enough to grow up. Not proper. Anyway, you don't need me to keep you company, not now that Ross is coming back. Even if I'd give up my independence, which I'll not.
Ross, coming back for good.
Oh, I wasn't supposed to say. You see, my mind slips. Look, don't you dare let on I've said.
Bed made, superbly, of course.
Well, you'd do well to wait till you've lain on it before you crow. I'm ready to go back now.
Got tired of picketing, have you?
Came round to see how you were.
Oh,
Management sent for you yet?
why should they? It's not me they need to send for, it's the bloody Prime Minister. I mean, what can I do? What can they do? We had a meeting last night, it voted a strike, and that's what we got.
Where's the Scotsman? Isn't he here yet?
What bloody Scotsman?
Your lodger. Chap I asked you to put up.
It's today? Your sister said nothing about that before she went off to school. Oh, room's ready, as far as I know. I don't want her saddled with him for the rest of her life. She's a job to go to.
It's only till he finds somewhere permanent, Reg says.
Reg? Reg Brooks?
Aye, it was Reg that asked me.
You didn't tell me that when you asked if he could come here. Damnation. Well, I'm off tomorrow for a day or two.
Off? Off where?
Fishing.
Fishing? You can't go fishing when there's a strike on.
Oh, getting cold feet already, are you? Think you might need me to jump in and pull you out before you go under? That's what you came round for, is it?
You're Union Branch Secretary.
Aye, I am. And Union Branch Secretary is going fishing.
Not back yet. First unofficial strike we've had, you'd have thought it was breathing down our necks.
Oh, well, there's not much you can do, is there? Any of us. Oh, have the department rung back yet?
No, they damn well haven't. Braithwaite came in. I suggested he might like to ring.
Well, I thought I'd bob off unless you want me to stay.
Yes? Yes.
The key to the drinks cupboard.
It's here, in my pocket.
I want it.
Sarah?
I'll bob off then.
Could you call in home on the way?
Lift? No strings.
All right. I am a bit late, as a matter of fact. I got somebody coming to stay.
Smoke?
No, thanks, I don't in school.
Principle or example?
No. What's wrong with principle or example?
Nothing. I wish to God I could give it up. I thought you'd have managed somehow.
Well, I don't know why you think I should be able to if you can't.
You've got more iron in your soul.
Thanks.
A compliment.
Oh, yes?
You gave me up. No trouble at all. No withdrawal symptoms. No temptation to get hooked again.
Could you drop me at the garage? My car's being serviced.
Pleasant surprise.
Is it?
I was thinking about you.
Oh, were you?
My ego's sickening for something today. You're a safe, non-addictive prescription.
Am I?
My distant admirer.
Sarah.
Oh, now I've embarrassed you. Why? Why not live vicariously if you can't get the other? We've so much in common. We both married into the Brassingtons. We're both like all those things they're not the least bit interested in. Only obstacle is I'm drunk and you are sober.
Look, I've got to get on home.
Just a hello goodbye visit, is it?
Well, I'm a messenger, actually.
Messenger?
I was sent with a key.
A key? I never thought he'd part with that. You know what kingdom this is the key to, I suppose?
No.
This one.
Oh.
Oh, he said. Want one?
Well, one perhaps.
Scotch?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
I don't really drink too much, you know. Just survival rations, really. Overdone it a bit today, maybe. I went to visit Brassington, actually. Tried to pinch things from his garden, really. He's lovely, Brassington, isn't he?
Well, it's hardly a word one man uses to describe another, is it?
Oh, why not? We may be different sexes. We're both part of the same perishing race. It is perishing, isn't it?
Oh, I don't know. I think we'll probably hang around for a bit yet.
Worth the effort, you think, do you?
Well, maybe the effort is what it's all about. Maybe more than the other.
You sound just like Max when you say that. He's got you indoctrinated, has he?
No, I don't think so. Oh, I'm not a strong character like Max is, but I don't think I'm indoctrinated. Not yet, anyway.
A strong character. That's what you want to be, is it?
In some ways,
so
maybe.
You can fight back, so the bastards won't tread you down.
Yeah, well, I suppose that is part of it. Look, Dot's waiting.
Be strong. Let her wait.
Isn't that your complaint? Being kept waiting?
Sarah?
In here.
I brought you the things that you wanted from Full Sights.
Oh, thanks. How much do I owe you?
£9 and 8p.
I'll go and get it to you now in case I forget.
Max asked me to call. He wanted...
You don't have to go into long explanations. I called at the works. Max said you might be here.
What in God's name have you done to your hair?
We were a visitor.
Well, it's come, has he?
Oh, I thought you'd forgotten. You said nothing to me.
I did forget. Up to an hour or so ago.
Room looked ready enough, any road.
It is.
Seems content enough with it.
Good. Oh, what's he like?
Oh, quiet. Pleasant sort of chap. He's a Scotsman.
Oh. Well, with a name like McKellar, it would be surprising if he wasn't, wouldn't it? Had your tea?
At this time?
Flu gone.
More or less.
Raging temperatures subsided.
All right, all right. You said your piece. You're tired, are you?
Yeah, a bit.
So I think it's Bobby's job teaching. I never have. This lad upstairs used to teach. Painting and such.
What's he doing driving for Leadston Cement?
Oh, well, there's a lot like that these days, getting a living where they can.
Well, you've told him we don't want him here forever, I hope.
Hey, I left it to you, that.
Oh, coward.
I asked him if he'll be going home to his wife weekends.
Will he?
Hasn't got one.
Oh, lucky him.
You know what you'll be in a few years' time with that attitude, don't you? An old maid.
Oh, what a stupid expression that is for somebody who's had the good sense to steer clear of the marriage mess.
It's all right if I go off tomorrow morning, is it? You don't mind me leaving you with Jon? I fixed it this morning after you'd gone. I'd forgotten he was coming.
You fixed what?
Go fishing for a day or two.
Where?
Our place your mother and me went to before we were wed. You've never been. 4 of us went. I went a time or two after, till you lot started to come along. It was seaside after that. What holidays we had. We were never on our own again.
That's marriage for you.
Have I said I'd have had it different? Oh, my daughter.
Ian McCullough. It's good of you to have me.
All right up there, is it?
Aye, it's fine, thanks. I'm just away out to find myself somewhere to eat.
Dad told you we can only have you here for a week or two, has he?
No, don't start chucking him out before he's got one foot in. She's a teacher. She'll let you go to the top of the class and give the pens out, if you play your cards right.
I'm eating out.
You didn't say anything about that when you went out this morning.
I hadn't been asked then.
Been asked, have you? And they think they're downtrodden. Nobody asks us if we'd like to go out and eat. No woman's ever come up to me and asked me if I'd like to go out and eat. Oh, they have a hard time of it, women. By God, they do.
I expect you to back.
Why? Was there something you wanted me?
No, nothing desperate. Just the occasional customer screaming for cement. We could maybe have done with your usual tact and diplomacy.
Yeah, well, it's wearing bloody thin these days. This strike could do with some tact and diplomacy, and patience is above everything else, maybe.
If yours is wearing thin, you better leave it to me.
Oh, you'd like that, wouldn't you?
I don't have that image with you, do I, the diplomat?
I didn't come back because Sarah came round and had a few drinks with her. Put me off driving for the day.
She drove home?
Yes, I told her she shouldn't, but she's got too much time on her hands. It's a condition a lot of people would envy. I don't. She'd be better off with Guy at home, but I suppose you want him to stay at that school.
For his own sake, yes, I do.
Have you ever asked him what he thinks of us? You, me, the whole damn setup. If you haven't, you should. He's got us all nicely weighed up, believe you me.
He's a child still.
He's a man in the making. If there's one bright star in that dark night out there, it's his generation. He doesn't need that school to make a man of him. We've taught him more in making the damn mess we have of things than he could learn in a lifetime sitting in the classroom learning it secondhand.
Max.
What the hell are you doing here?
Bill Summers sent him down to sort out this strike for us.
He's pulling your leg, of course. What's the lineup?
Us, them, the usual lineup, except that it's unofficial.
Mind if I get a snack? I'm ravenous.
I thought you were eating out.
2 whole hours till then, I'll be dead of malnutrition.
What the hell's he doing out here?
I suppose things weren't going too well for him in London.
Wine, women, or work?
I don't know. I'd be the last to know. Either of you. You never came to me with your troubles, did you?
I don't know. We relayed them through Mum. We relied on her passing them on diplomatically.
Yes, well, she had you and Sarah on her mind the day she died.
Well, that's not exactly been a secret, has it?
Silence can become a habit in marriage, you know. You can spend a married life talking about everything except what's important.
Oh, we talk about what's important till the cows come home, believe you me. Anyway, that's something we just have to cope with ourselves, isn't it?
Mind my own business, you mean?
Fruit of the Garden of Eden. You'd better tell Sarah I'll probably be around scrounging. I was depending on this bloke here to do the cooking, but he's off tomorrow morning.
Well, Annie will cook for you if you talk to her nicely.
You didn't tell me you were going away.
It's something I've not long decided. I was going to phone you tonight.
I thought you cancelled everything because of the strike.
Yeah, I did, but there's something I can't put off doing. You'll just have to manage without me.
Where can we get in touch with you if we want you?
You can't.
You'll ring us?
If I get around to it.
How long?
I can't tell you that either.
Well, sounds like a mystery tour.
That's right. It's a mystery tour.
Evening.
Hi. No, you don't get up. Dad told me you'd come here. Reg Brooks will be here before long. What can I get you?
Oh, same again, thanks.
What's your plan?
Plan? I'm taking Ruth out to dinner.
I guessed you might be. Playing them close to your chest, are you?
I didn't say because I don't know. Well, I don't know what the outcome will be.
You've finished down in London, then, have you?
Jill and I have broken it off.
So, what's your plan?
To marry Ruth. But for God's sake, keep it to yourself.
Do you think she'll have it?
I don't know. Bit rough leaving Max to cope with the first unofficial strike we've had, wasn't it?
Rough on him or rough on me? Who's going to have to clean up the mess if he makes a cock of it?
Well, the ball's not in our court. Or even in the union's court. It was lost in the long grass in Whitehall.
There's a lot of balls lost up in London in the long grass. Oh, what's your plan?
I've told you. What's yours? This mystery tour. You haven't told me where you're going.
I'm going fishing. That's my plan. I'm going fishing.
You wanted to see me?
He's come. I want the key to that place you told me about.